We want to install Get Simple CMS on a friend's recommendation. So we'll just go and find it first. Now you got to be careful because there's an awful lot of content management systems that have the word simple in them. There's CM Simple. What's that?
That's the right one.
Okay, and this is the one with no database, right? So notice it says no MySQL, because there's also Simple CMS and so on and so forth. So when we want to download something, it says the simplest content management system ever. I'm going to go right to download, and we've got latest stable version, and that's pretty sweet, less than a meg, right? We could go to beta, not stable. I like stable. Stable is my friend. We're going to do our normal download. Always important when we save things, what we called it, where we put it. For simplicity, I'm going to actually put this on the desktop. Notice it's Get Simple 3.1 zip. Go ahead and save it. Should be very, very quick. Windows D to get to my desktop. Here's that file. Now we're going to unzip it and see what's inside, just so we understand it before we upload it. We extract. Note again where it's saving it to. I extract. 411 items, so there is a substantial amount of stuff there, and now it's going to increase almost double in size, a little more than double, to 2 megs. And what we're interested specifically is the folder structure. So where is root? Is root a subfolder, or is root the outer folder? And where's that magic index file, which we know is always going to load first? So the presumption is people looking at this have already had a basic HTML class. They kind of know the fundamentals. If not, they're going to have to hustle. So here we have a folder called Get Simple _3.1. I'm assuming this is an enclosure folder, if you will, so that this is effectively represents root. So if your website were bloddyblah.com, you would replace Get Simple 3.1 with bloddyblah.com. So we look in that, and sure enough, here we see there's our index. So all this content needs to be in root of whatever folder represents your website. So in this particular example, we have a subfolder on a domain. So we have tropicalteachers.com / what did we call it? Test? So we're going to put all of this in there. If we make the mistake of uploading the whole thing, then it's going to be test / Get Simple 3.1, which we don't want. So when we upload it, we want to actually upload this stuff into that folder. It's actually easier to do it right the first time. However, it may be hard to upload a bunch of files, and depending on our administrative access, we might want to upload the zip file and unzip it. So in this case, I'm just going to do it this way. I jump over to WinSCP, make it so you can see the recording nicely. Again, I don't know where the video is, so this could be tricky. So I'll go to my desktop, find that folder, Get Simple 3.1, go into it. Oh, look, see there's a folder and a folder. You got to be careful. We're interested in these files, not the enclosing folder. And up here, I'm already in my test folder, right? So we're basically transferring all of this over to test. Now let's just jump back to the browser, and let's go to that site, tropicalteachers.com /test, and sure enough, we should see nothing. Do we see nothing? We agree? Let's go ahead and make this a little bit more size appropriate. And close that. So nothing is there. And just to prove to us that we're actually in this folder, I'm going to just make a new file and call it blah.blah. And nothing particular goes in it. And I'll close that. So their blah blah is there. And when I go here and refresh, I should see it. Sure enough, it's there. I like to always make sure I know where I am. A lot of confusion comes from working in the wrong folder or on the wrong site or what have you. And it's easy to get lost. I will remove that so it doesn't clutter us up now that I know we're there. I'm going to click here, hold the shift key, go down to the bottom. I've got all my files and just drag them over there. Now bear in mind I have no idea how this works, right? Never tried it before, so I'm going to load and just see what happens. The tools that are really friendly tend to present you the first time with a welcome page that tells you how to get started. Like they'll say, oh, are you the administrator? Would you like to create a user ID? So hopefully no one from China or Russia is connecting at the very same second that I am, because then they could basically hijack the site. However, I have admin access, so I could just pull all these files down or delete them. So it's taking us a minute, but not too long. Meanwhile, let's go back to the browser, and let's start refreshing and see what's showing up. Well, look, we have an admin folder now, and we can look in it, and it's got some stuff there. Continuous setup. I'm not quite ready for that. So we'll hit refresh again, and now we see the files uploading. This is all going to depend on your speed, but 2 megs isn't really that bad, so it should be done pretty quickly. I'll go back and look. And we're 43% done copying, right? And getting there. Now I'm impatient, especially since I'm recording. I could pause it. Should I pause it? All right, let's pause it. Okay, we're almost done. Got to time it just right. So I'm at 91%. We'll go back and look one more time. And now well, that's interesting. I seem to have less stuff there. I have a theme. So I'm curious why some stuff went away and some came back, but we'll know in a minute.
Theme or an admin.
All right, but so we're 96%, we'll wait to 100%. And then what we should see is that this, and over here you can see in gray what's being copied, and it should exactly match, right? So now we'll go here and make sure that that stuff is there. And hey, look what happened. We can't even look at it. Why? Because it loaded the index page. And when it loaded the index page, that in turn prompted something else that said, hey, you might want to install this. So let's look down the list. Get Simple, PHP, folder permissions, blah, 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 and it checks things. So for example, if you're at some colleges that give you web space, they may not allow writable. So if you tried to install this in your student account here, this would probably fail and you couldn't use it. Zip archive not installed, warning. What do I know about that? Well, maybe it means there's a zip tool or something, I don't know. It just says warning, it doesn't say danger, it's yellow, not red, so I'm not going to worry about it. XML module, Apache mod rewrite for information requirements page, looks like it's English. Let's go ahead and continue. Very important to understand that now we're jumping from FTP to simply using a web interface. So from this point on, I should be able to quit FTP entirely. I'll go ahead and do that, log out. And I could go home and give this URL to someone, and they could go from there and never really have full admin rights to my server, but they will have admin rights to this installation, which is in the test folder. So we'll go ahead and hit continue with setup. And, website name. Well, we can't change test up here. We can't change the URL, but we could give it a name. So what's a name for us?
Tropical Teacher.
But we're already in Tropical Teachers.
Okay. Plus
Project.
4.
Okay, plus 4 project. PFP, okay? Username, something maybe different. Let's just do plus 4. And for now, I'll just put di@tropicalteachers.com, and we could actually maybe come up with a Google group email or something like that. And so actually all of that was not actually an install, it was simply an upload. Now we're doing an install. So who knows what that original megabyte, the 800K became a 2 megabyte that may become something.
Email, you'll get that password, but you don't need it. I think it'll go right to.
It's prompting you to change your
Okay.
password.
Oh, from a random generated one you have now, okay.
There's the link to change your password right there.
Okay, where?
Right
here.
Your password, yeah.
All right, so plus 4, Tropical Teachers, local time zone. We'll do Eastern, there we go. Language is good. We didn't download, but if we had Arabic or Hebrew or Chinese, we could do that. Do we want to enable HTML? Yeah, if you're hardcore and like typing HTML blank, you'd turn that off.
You have to go back into it, right?
Yeah, so let's do, and this probably doesn't have tough password requirements.
Why don't we do the same one so we are always using.
Okay, so we'll say the same one so I don't have to repeat it for the recording, right?
Right.
Now, there's a downside to using the same one, is that then you forget that they're actually different accounts.
Yeah.
So if you have to reset one, you think you reset the other, but you didn't, and so on and so forth. So we'll go ahead and save that, and your settings have been. Now notice what happens is this title has automatically become the title there, right? And that's cool. So that's the first example of how we've done a content management. You didn't have to do H1 or H2 or div or URL placement or anything. It's just, hey, the site is actually looking reasonable now, and we've hardly done anything. Okay, let's save the settings. CSRF, no idea what that means. I don't know if it's bad.
Oh, wait. Drag the screen over a bit. You're kind of like the actual whole window.
Pull the top.
Okay. You're slightly off, at least the projector side of things. So.
All right. Well, oh, by the way, so I've downloaded it now. I'm not sure what's going on with this.
Oh, wait.
This would be something to Google.
Cross-site request forgery.
And that's about this. When the page is like open for some time without activity, 30 minutes or more, no. Known problem, there are fixes. Next version will not show this behavior. So I'm not going to worry about it because it sounds like it's not a big deal. So I'm just going to go back to the main page.
Normally it's you getting hacked.
Right. Normally it's getting hacked, but I don't think I've been hacked. That would be somebody who's really on the case, right? So here we have this tool. So you guys have rights to Tropical Teacher. So my suggestion, as far as getting experience, is like he said, make your own folder. Go make a Jerry or a Connie or a test 1 or a test 2 and do this step from start to finish. So you're intimate with the process. You can watch this video, hopefully when I upload it. I think I'm limited to 15 minutes, so I'm gonna have to stop soon, but you get the idea. So now, and the reason, if I were recording a bigger window, you'd see the whole thing, but it says welcome, simple documentation, how to create a Get Simple theme, Get Simple support forums. So here's a heading 1, this is code. So this is walking through a lot of stuff. But still, I don't want to read all this, it's too much work. So what do? Download the latest Get Simple, I've got that. This is your sidebar text, please change me in theme, edit components. Okay, where's theme?
You have to click on
Well, what's this plus? Where's that?
Connect.
Connect.
Little blue bar says connect.
Little blue
On
bar.
the right.
On the right.
Above.
Up. Woohoo! That's not clickable.
Okay.
Home. Okay.
Scroll down all the way. Scroll over.
Now this is, you're just still on the Get Simple, we're not on our test, oh, we are on our test page.
Yeah, this is our site.
So if we
So the
want to
question-
go in and edit our site, and this is something I didn't get before in another class, if we start all over again with a fresh browser, we're gonna log into, or we're gonna search for tropicalteacher.com/test. And then,
So I don't know what to do to edit this. I was hoping it would be painfully obvious, and it's not painfully obvious. I think this is this is part of the browser. So I go to home. I'm already at home. I've got the documentation. It would seem like that's a good place to start, but I don't like to read the documentation. But I may have to because I don't see any other links other than the latest Get Simple.
Can you click on those headings and change them? Header 2, can you click on that and change that?
No, this is probably just showing how they are by default.
Okay.
So I think, okay, let's go to the documentation, and there's a wiki, and we did the installation, right? And then we did all that, how to get simple.
By the way, this is the CMS that I installed by accident.
Okay, so page management is not empty when you first install it first time. You'll find one page and 2 themes when you take a closer look after finishing the installation. Oh look, so we saw this a minute ago, right? But we did not see it. We did not see it on this page we're looking at, right? Wait a minute, there's that page. Let's get rid of that page. So notice this is test admin. So check this out. We'll go back to test, and this is our page. But watch what happens if I type admin. Oh, you see the difference? So basically, I'm used to CM Simple where I can get to my admin from my main page. Whereas they're thinking, hey, look, if you have a regular user looking at your site, admin is none of their business.
Yeah.
They shouldn't know how to get there. Whereas I'm expecting a little link like go to administration. So all I have to do is type admin.
I would have preferred if it was a little bit more complicated. Because I mean,
That sounds like sarcasm to me.
no, I mean admin is something that's very easy to get.
So here I'm here. So let's get back to where I was. What do we do? What do you think we can do? Page title, welcome to Get Simple, 1 total pages. Toggle status, okay? Okay, toggle does what? Is this home page, menu item?
It'd be great if
Huh?
you maximize that.
Okay, how about files? So I have a mantra that I may have shared with you before, ignore and explore. Ignore things that are not in your way, that you don't think, or even that are in your way, go around them. Explore to find what you need. So it looks like I can upload stuff, or maybe not. Let's create a folder. I'll call it test upload. That was easy, but how do I upload stuff? I don't see an uploads option. I see show all. So somewhere is there going to be a button that allows me to upload something, but it's not here. How about theme? Innovation. Let's try cardinal. Activate theme. Ooh, looks totally different. We can go back to our site, tropicalteachers.com/test, and we should see cardinal now, and we do. You see that? So by changing it in the admin, we have now changed it on the main page. But granted, we could download probably hundreds of other themes. Oh, let's edit the theme. I don't like red, I like blue. Ooh, now we start getting to where knowing some code comes in handy. Where do you think we tweak? Oh, and look, it says you cannot load this page directly. All right. Where do we get that color of red? And you guys know, where do we get our theme from? Or where do we get the design from?
Can't read it fast enough.
So somewhere is probably a CSS.
Yeah.
There's a
That's the
template.
default template. Ooh, look, style CSS. Edit. Ooh, right? So I'm looking for some funky red, right? And I don't know what funk, but I've got link colors. I've got body. I'll go here.
222.
222?
Is that,
Where is
Yep.
that?
or,
Body.
no, that's the font color. Background, FFF.
So the background would be white,
That's-
which is okay. What about foreground? What about color? Right? So lots of, you can see that this is a much more complex CSS than you guys have built. But in principle, you should understand how it's read. And if you don't, that's a thing to spend some time on. I'm still wondering about color, so I'll do Control F, color, whoops, and I get one there. That looks like header, whoops.
You got a border, no.
And what I can do is I'll cut that, Control X, and just type green and see what happens. There's probably a save button down here. Come back to the site. And it didn't change that, so who knows what I broke, right? So it might be good to find green and put it back. When in doubt, take a conservative approach, right? And notice we've got semicolon, colon, which makes me a little bit nervous. Did I maybe delete the word color? Was it supposed to say color there?
Background.
I think it did.
No, it said background.
Did it say background or background dash color?
I think it just said background.
Okay, so maybe that would explain why that didn't work. So all of the same headaches we run into before, you're going to run into now.
There
Oh,
it
look,
is.
it's background to the home button.
This is
Right?
exactly what I did in CMS.
So the idea is to go in and take an exploratory approach to these kind of things. Say, okay, what can I change? What can I not change? And figure it out. And once you know the tool, you're like, oh yeah, that's the header, that's the whatever. Or once you're familiar with a certain theme, you say, yeah, I know how that is. So now we kind of know how to tweak the theme. Take that back to being whatever color that is, peach, pear. But how about the main issue of pages? Well, we got backups. It's worth looking at these. No backups. What about plugins? Don't want to worry about plugins yet, but I could go get them. Send anonymous data. Okay. If you didn't want it sending data, you could deactivate that. What about files? Again, I haven't figured out how to upload a file, but there should be an option. There it is. Okay, let's go back and find some of DI's stuff. What was it on my pictures? And maybe I can. This is Farhad coming up. This is me with my M&M machine. So we'll upload that. And one more just to be consistent. Farhad in his office with boxes. So now we have uploaded 2 pictures, and you see them here, and we should be able to view them. Only, not only does it show this picture, but it gives the URL of the picture, and it gives us some option here like a thumbnail, or a thumbnail link, or a thumbnail to image. Let's try a thumbnail, and that gives us different formats. So it's providing some tools to do things. Notice it says current thumbnail is 200 by 150, whereas in the past you would have had to do that yourself. So it's doing a lot of that work for you. And I can hit create thumbnail, and somewhere in here is a thumbnail now. And it's going to show a lot smaller than that. So I could go back, let's look at our files yet again. I don't know where they put that file, but it's probably there. And so I'll have to explore that a little more. And then finally, pages. I'll be happy if we can make 1 or 2 pages. If the other page is consistent, look, create new page. So let's make one for Connie.
You're running to 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know. and then yo. You there? And notice we've got the typical stuff, but it's a little bit cleaner than CM Simple's interface, and that the HTML is nicely formatted, hopefully. And we'll save that. And what are the other options? All we've got is cancel, save page, and I'm going to assume that'll work, and we're going to make a new page called Ben. Yeg. And I'm going to say, well, I want Ben to be big. Notice I don't have my heading 1, 2, 3, right? So it's deferring that to the theme. Say, well, let me put an image, maybe not. What if I go into the HTML? I'll just make Ben bold, save it, come back, make one last page. It's spelled like that, right?
Yep.
And I'll go ahead and say, well, what do these other things do? HTML, what is a page option? Ooh, page visibility, normal, page parent. I could make Jerry a child of Ben. I could use a different template. I can create different templates.
That's really good.
So for example, you could have a template that's a product display page, or a template that's a instructions page, or a template that's a tutorial page, and apply those different templates. Maybe they have slightly different colors or alerts. You can create a custom URL. You can meta tag it, or even provide a meta description. So those are all things worth exploring. Now we save it. We go back and we check out the page, and what do we have? None of that has changed much.
You want to go to the other.
Well, no, this is the page. So the question is, why has our menu not changed? And so somewhere in here is the menu manager. So that's one. Welcome to Get Simple. And where are my other pages?
View all.
If I choose View All Pages, they're here. And it's quite possible that they are not.
Status.
I don't think we put them in as a menu. So one of the problems is we'll have to actually specify the parent here is the index page, right? And it's unfortunate that that is not automatic, but we click Add this page to the menu, and the menu text will be Jerry, and the priority would be the rank. So let's put him as priority 2. No offense. It's unfortunate also that Save Updates is at the bottom. You'd think there'd be one right here. So now when you notice I've just been exploring for a couple of minutes, we go back, we look at the main page, and where am I looking for my menu? Right there, Home and Jerry. Okay. So how do I edit this home so it doesn't have all this junk on it? I go back, View All Pages, and I want to edit the home page. How do I do that? Home page, menu item, welcome to Get Simple. Notice I'm now in an editor. And I say, well, you know what? I don't know about any of this. I don't care about any of this. But I'll leave it there. Read this stuff later. Welcome to +4. Edit as you see fit. I could take this, cut it all, Control X, save the updates, go make a new page,
Make it
and call it old index. Paste this stuff here. Again, this is annoying that I have to do this every time. You'd think it'd be default because you want it to show up. So I'll make index and add that to the menu as well. And the priority will be 18. I'll put it at the end. Instructions. And save it. And now on our main page, we've got that. So you get the idea?
Yeah.
So now you guys can log in, you can muck with it, you can tweak it, and download themes, you have full access, and we'll go from
And
there.
We can create our own installs and all that.
Right. You can create it, if you do your own install, do it as a separate folder.
Cool.
All right, so under 25 minutes. It's a lot longer than I thought.